Mel Gibson has announced that he's working on a sequel to The Passion of the Christ, and it could be his big comeback.
Is it The Christ Returns?
It's not his return, no. It's Mel Gibson, who directed The Passion of the Christ, has teamed with screenwriter Randall Wallace, who penned Gibson's other hit directing effort, Braveheart. So it's the writer of Braveheart and Mel Gibson, the director of Passion of the Christ, to write a sequel that will tell the story of the resurrection of Jesus.
Oh, right. So The Christ Returns.
Not the second coming. The first.
Right.
The first return. Yeah. Did you say that? Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was good. The first return of the Christ. So it's not his passion.
Right.
Or is it The Christ Strikes Back? Would that be the next one?
I think that's the next one.
And then it's Return of the King?
But I'm assuming it's not The Passion of the Christ Part 2.
I certainly hope that's not it, because they covered the whole Passion.
Right. It's going to be the resurrection of the Christ.
The motivation to make a sequel has ramped up recently to demand for it from the Christian community.
There's demand?
Do you feel like we as a Christian community have been demanding it?
Hasn't there just been recently a resurrection movie? Risen.
I think Risen was one.
Risen.
Yeah.
But you know what? Stop and think about it. How many times has that story been told in comparison to the crucifixion story in film?
Well,
usually they go together.
Yeah, and even in the Passion of the Christ, it did end with him stepping out.
Remember
of the
when
tomb.
you can see that hole through his hand?
But you know, if you go beyond that and you think about all the things he did, like walking on the road or appearing in the room, or there's lots of drama in that.
But is there a chase scene? Is there a whipping? Because Mel Gibson is kind of fond of the violence.
That's...
And do Christians, here's my question, do conservative Christians, especially pastors, want to get behind a film from the guy that's now known for his anti-Semitic rants more than the fact that he made a Jesus film 12 years ago?
I guess we'll find out.
Was it 12 years ago?
2004?
That sounds about right.
Yeah, 5.
Wow.
Yeah, it was a while ago. Are you interested in seeing a sequel to The Passion of the Christ?
Where is this in terms of pre-production?
They're just writing a script.
Oh, they haven't even written the script.
Well, they've got the script. It's called Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. And the first couple chapters of Acts.
Good catch.
Yeah.
Because people would have written that in, so you forgot about. Yeah.
And 1 Corinthians 15.
But they have to figure out what the fight scenes are about and what the chase scene is about.
You're right. There's not a lot of...
I think there needs to be, to really make it work...
It's more like a ghost story.
I think there needs to be a motorcycle chase.
That's going to be hard to do.
But no, you just use motorcycles. People do it all the time.
Yeah, but they didn't have motorcycles back then,
It's a non sequitur.
You think it could still be interesting?
Yeah, motorcycle chase.
Okay.
Like with all the
Would this be a flashback to Jesus' rising and then or a flash forward to motorcycles?
Like he comes back, but his disciples have become a motorcycle gang called the Disciples.
In the 3 days that he was in Hades?
Yeah. And they're riding around, they're terrorizing people.
What?
And he says, no, fellas, that's not right.
What, you've made him into the Fonz?
Yeah, and he becomes the leader of the pack. That's what he becomes.